it's the postseason that matters most in the NFL.
Look at Sam Darnold. He looked incredibly rattled. Clearly his worst game of the year. And when is that worst game of the year? With a division crown on the line.
Let us take a look around the playoff landscape and see if we can tab 10 players who are ready to explode into stardom. Sam Darnold, QB, Minnesota Vikings. Yes, we all know that Sam Darnold has been the talk of the town throughout the 2024 regular season, and for pretty dang good reason. The former third overall pick by the New York Jets has had a renaissance that few others can stack up to. He went from burnt out and cast aside in New York to a reclamation project on wheels to suddenly a bona fide franchise quarterback. At least, that's what he has a lot of people in the land of 1,000 lakes thinking. But the playoffs are where we're going to find out how for real he really is. Because in the postseason, the stakes get higher, the level of competition increases, and the cream truly rises to the top. And you know what? We think that this is the true coming out party for Darnold. All it'll take is 1 or 2 big wins and a haughty stat line, and boom, all of a sudden the unthinkable will happen, and all the talking heads will be debating, is Sam Darnold elite? Never mind if he manages to bring a championship to that dedicated but starving fan base up north. The playoff run for Sam Darnold the Viking has all of the makings of a new star being born. George Pickens, WR, Pittsburgh Steelers. George Pickens has already started to make waves this season in Pittsburgh, for negative and positive reasons alike, as the dynamic wide receiver has also demonstrated a proclivity for fiery antics on the field and in the media that push the limits of acceptable behavior. But his burgeoning connection with Russell Wilson has the good people of Pittsburgh excited about what lies in store for the talented young receiver, and you know what? The postseason is the perfect opportunity for him to solidify himself as one of the top physical receivers in the game. If fans see him make a couple of clutch 50-50 catches or light up a defensive back on a block, we could see his star properly ignite in rather short order. Jayden Daniels, QB, Washington Commanders. Jayden Daniels has been nothing short of a revelation in his rookie season with the Washington Commanders. Selected 2nd overall in the 2024 NFL Draft, Daniels has shattered expectations, leading his team to an 11-plus win season and their first playoff berth since 2020. While it's already clear that the talented dual-threat quarterback out of LSU is here to stay, there is still a long runway for Daniels' growth. Based on what he has demonstrated thus far in 2024, I would not be surprised to see him sprint up that runway and establish himself as a legit top 10 or maybe even top 5 guy by the end of this playoff run. Daniels has shown that he possesses the rare ability to single-handedly elevate a franchise. Now he just needs his signature moment in the playoffs to really tell the world that he has arrived. Josh Pascal, DE, Detroit Lions. The damage has been particularly devastating on the defensive side of the ball, where they lost their top 2 sack getters. Defensive Player of the Year candidate edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson and defensive tackle Aleem McNeil. They also managed to lose 2 of their top cornerbacks, Carlton Davis III to a fractured jaw and Khalil Dorsey to an ankle injury, in the same game against Buffalo that McNeil went down. So, yeah, safe to say that the Lions have the deck stacked against them this postseason. While this obviously is not an advantageous position to be in, the good news is that they have some guys lower on the depth chart who are hungry for the opportunity and ready. This is their moment to really step up. Defensive end Josh Pascal is the perfect example. If the Lions are going to make a serious run, they're going to need him to get after the opposing quarterbacks in a big way. Detroit has the good fortune of a high-octane offense to carry most of the load too, so if Pascal can notch a few sacks and ignite this Lions pass rush, that could be just enough to get Dan Campbell's crew over the hump. No time like the present for Josh Pascal to make his name, and a whole lot of money in the process. James Cook, RB, Buffalo Bills. James Cook has quietly become a focal point of the Bills' offense as the season progressed, and he has provided much-needed balance to what was projected to be a pass-heavy attack coming into the year. While Josh Allen rightfully gets the spotlight, Cook's development into a versatile, dynamic playmaker could be the X-factor Buffalo needs to finally get over the hump. Cook's explosiveness is undeniable. His ability to break a run for 30-plus yards or take a screen pass to the house makes him very dangerous every time that he touches the ball. But you know, what's really impressive is how he's evolved as a between-the-tackles runner. Early in his his career, there were some questions about whether Cook could handle the workload of a feature back. Well, not anymore. Heading into the playoffs, Cook is posting one of the most efficient years to date and has emerged as a legitimate weapon in the red zone to complement Josh Allen's rushing ability. If the Bills want to avoid the heartbreak that's plagued them in recent postseason runs, Cook will need to be at the center of it all. Don't be surprised if he's the one shredding defenses in January while Allen does his thing through the air. And by the time all is said and done, his name will likely be a household one. Jaden Reed, WR, Green Bay Packers. The Packers offense has been a little bit up and down throughout this NFL season, but Jaden Reed has turned into a major stabilizing factor. The young wide receiver out of Michigan State has seamlessly transitioned into the league, providing Jordan Love with a reliable target in crunch time. Reed's speed and route running ability make him a nightmare to cover, but what really sets him apart is his toughness. The guy takes hits over the middle, shrugs him off, and keeps coming back for more. He's been especially dangerous in the red zone, using his quickness to create separation when it matters most. Green Bay's playoff hopes rest heavily on Love's shoulders, but every quarterback needs that security blanket, and Reed has become that guy. If the Packers make a deep run, then Reed could go from promising prospect to legit star faster than you can say Lambeau Leap. Byron Murphy Jr., CB, Minnesota Vikings. It's not just the offensive side of the ball that could make waves in Minnesota this postseason. Byron Murphy Jr. is quietly building his case as one of the top young cornerbacks in the league. The Vikings secondary has been shaky at times, but Murphy has emerged as the glue holding things together. Murphy's instincts and ball hawking skills have really made him a playmaker in critical situations. His ability to shadow top receivers and make life difficult for opposing quarterbacks will be absolutely essential if the Vikings are going to make any noise in the playoffs. But here's the thing, Murphy isn't just a shutdown corner. He is physical in run support and has a knack for forcing turnovers at the most opportune times. In a league where the margin for error in the playoffs is razor thin, Murphy's play could be the difference between a one-and-done exit and a deep postseason run. And man, he could really set himself up for a serious payday in the process. Bucky Irving Jr., RB, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Irving's blend of elusiveness and power has given the Bucs offense a new dimension this season. While Baker Mayfield slings it around, Irving's ability to not just break off big plays but also chew up clock and grind out tough yards has been invaluable. He's the type of back who gets stronger as the game goes on. Exactly the kind of player that you need when you're trying to close out a playoff game. In a crowded NFC playoff picture, the Bucs need every edge that they can get, and Irving might just be their secret weapon. A big postseason performance could certainly cement him as one of the league's next breakout stars. Isiah Likely, TE, Baltimore Ravens. With all the attention on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens' potent ground attack, Isiah Likely has quietly been developing into a key piece on their offense. The tight end position has long been a staple in Baltimore, and with Mark Andrews eternally battling injury and aging fast, Likely has stepped up in a major way. Likely's chemistry with Jackson is pretty dang obvious, and his ability to create mismatches against linebackers and safeties make him a red zone threat every time the Ravens are inside the 20. The 6'4", 24-year-old tight end runs routes like a vet and has the ability to rise up over defensive backs to make challenging contested catches. The optionality that he provides Baltimore's offense cannot be overstated. He's not just a complimentary piece, he's a future star in his own right. As the Ravens look to make a serious run at the Super Bowl, Likely will have a chance to emerge as a true star. Not just to the folks in the DMV area, who have already grown quite fond of him, but now nationally. Fans across the country are going to be tuning in, and he will have ample opportunity to demonstrate what Ravens fans and his fantasy owners already know so well. Xavier Worthy, WR, Kansas City Chiefs. When the Kansas City Chiefs inked a deal with the Bills to move up and select the man that they believe to be their next great burner of a wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, they quickly became the talk of the draft. Not only did they bring in a guy with a legit 4.2 speed, but they did so with the help of Buffalo, their vaunted rival. The chatter was unavoidable. The memes spread like wildfire, and fantasy owners everywhere started slapping Worthy on their draft board. Worthy started off the year in apathetic fashion by scoring a touchdown during their season opener, which obviously only heightened the Bills' slander. But you know, he did seem to struggle to really get his footing in the NFL. There's a lot more that goes into playing wide receiver at the NFL level than simply running fast. Sure, he looked great at times, particularly when Kansas City was able to scheme up a play to get him the ball in open space, but you know, it really wasn't until the final few weeks of the regular season that we saw the rookie really start to put it all together. His routes are beginning to to look more crisp, and it is clear that he has a broader understanding of the Chiefs' offensive system. Now Kansas City has locked up the 1 seed, and they are preparing to take on the best that the AFC has to offer as they seek their 3rd straight Lombardi trophy. And don't be shocked if we see Worthy emerge from that process as a legit star. No one knows how to dial up big plays like Andy Reid, and no one can execute them like Patrick Mahomes. And with the stakes as high as they are for KC, this all could be the perfect storm for Worthy's ascension. But hey, which NFL players do you think have the best chance to become a star during this upcoming postseason? Who do you think we're right on? Who do you think we're wrong about? Was there anyone that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking that like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.